Welcome to Courage on the Pitch, brought to you by Wake Orthopedics Urgent Care.
North Carolina champions again!
Here's Megan O'Keefe.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Courage on the Pitch, presented by Wake Orthopedics Urgent Care. If you're watching, I already threw on a sweatshirt. It's September, I don't even know, and I'm already wearing some fuzzy sweatshirt because just excited for fall. And I'm excited for our guest this week. We've got the one and only Casey Murphy on the show. She recently joined the Courage in the offseason in October of 2020 and has just crushed it ever since joining the team. She just racked up her 10th clean sheet last weekend. We talk all about in our conversation this episode. A little bit more backstory on Casey. She came from the OL Reign, and she was actually drafted 13th overall in the 2018 NWSL draft. And before that, she played in France as well as for Rutgers in college, where she was named Big Ten Goalkeeper of the Year, not once, but twice. So we talk all about her incredible soccer journey, as well as get a little cameo of her puppy at the end of the episode. So don't forget, you can also watch the episode on YouTube on 99.9 The Fans YouTube channel, or obviously listen wherever you're getting your podcasts. And while we're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, share the show with your friends, all the above. We appreciate your support. So before we get into our conversation with Casey, let's do a little recap of this past week's events. And by events, I mean some games we had this weekend. A little bittersweet results on both sides. So NCFC, our men's side, kicked it off this weekend against Union Omaha, one of the top teams in their league, and they fell 3-0 at home. So tough battle for the guys on Saturday night. But outside of that game, there has been some exciting news with the team. We recently signed 15-year-old Nicholas Holiday, a goalkeeper, to a professional contract, which is really exciting. Congratulations to Nick. He well-deserved. So really excited for his future with the club. And some bittersweet news on the men's side as well. Our captain, Nazmi Al-Badawi, has announced his retirement. He's been with the club for over 10 years. Just an incredible leader, has done so much for this team. So his last game is actually going to be this weekend, September 11th on Saturday. So be sure to get your tickets for that to say au revoir to Naz. He will be sticking around and coaching, so he'll still be in the NCFC family for a bit. And then on the Courage side, this past weekend, they traveled to Kansas City to play this team for the third time, and they ended up tying this game 0-0. Pretty uneventful match, aside from our guest, Casey Murphy, having just another incredible performance. It was her 10th clean sheet of the season. So she's league leading in clean sheets, and she's doubled Adriana Franch, who is only in second place with 5 clean sheets. So Casey, incredible. Keep doing what you're doing. It's all right. You're doing great. So enough talking about her. Let's hear from the Casey Murphy right after this.
Courage on the Pitch, off the field.
I've got Casey Murphy on the show. Super excited to have you on the podcast. How you doing?
Good. Happy to be on. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So this is an off day for you guys, right? I love to ask how you fill your off days, just because you guys have been traveling and been so busy. What have you been up to today?
Yeah. So yesterday after the flight, just, really just chilled out. Didn't do much, but today a little bit more productive, have a few coaching sessions, have a yoga class, just running a bunch of errands and then getting ready for the week.
Yeah, I feel like I get a different answer from everyone, because some people are like, I am in bed on Netflix all day long, or it sounds like you have a very productive day planned, which is awesome.
Yesterday I took more as our off day. So
good. Yeah, I'm like, you need some chill time after recording your 10th clean sheet now of the season, I think.
Double digits. Feels
holy
good.
Cow. Yeah, how does that feel? What an awesome stat. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling really grateful for the back line that I have, because they have been tremendous. So just got to keep it rolling, and really excited for Portland, because, that's going to be a really good game. And hopefully we get our 11th and then our 6th straight. That would be pretty dope.
Yeah, pretty exciting. With the Portland game coming up, so this is your first season with the Courage. What have you heard, or what do you already know about that rivalry of the Courage versus Portland?
I'm coming from a rivalry versus Portland, playing in Seattle for 2 years. So it's like it never ended, basically. It just carried over to the new team. And yeah, I'm expecting nothing less than a rivalry game, which is just intense, a lot of emotion. You know, people going at it, a little bit of,
Mhm.
you know, um, trash talking, and then yeah, just a good game of soccer.
Are you a trash talker?
I feel like I have my moments. And then there's obviously a lot of trash talking going on in my head that doesn't always come out. Just, to keep friends and,
Yeah.
people, not wanting to come after me. Um,
Yeah, that surprises me. I feel like you're like obviously so sweet and like soft spoken. I feel like off the field, but on the field, definitely
yeah,
wouldn't want to mess with you.
yeah, definitely thoughts run through my mind of what is she doing? That was awful. You know, she's got
Oh,
to
you
fix.
mean with your own teammates?
No, I mean, I know both sides sometimes, but mostly the other team.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm really excited for that game. And I do want to touch on how you played with the Rain, and then your past you played overseas and, at Rutgers. But what about the Courage sticks out to you as being different? We talk a lot about like the Courage culture, but what's been different about being a part of the Courage?
Oh, it's been so far it's been a wonderful experience because just like the day-to-day life here is great, and then the training environment, the coaches, the team, it's just it's intense, it's fun still, and everyone's there to work hard. So yeah, I'm really happy with how the culture is, and feeling like I'm able to fit right into that type of style of play that they are asking. And then, yeah, just enjoying, being a part of the team and everyone being so welcoming from the start.
Yeah. And you mentioned your back line, which has been so solid. You got Merritt Mathias, Abby Urseg, Kaylee Kurtz, and Carson Pickett back there. For the most part, I know there's been some injuries and movement,
Mhm.
but what's it like to have that four in front of you?
Oh, they're great. I'm constantly shouting them out because they deserve it. Like, between the communication we have on the field and then off the field, trying to solve problems and, be that, rock for the team, denying crosses, shots, not letting in goals. I think everyone's just really stepped up to the plate, and they've been solid. They've been steady, and yeah, really, really, happy that they're in front of me.
Yeah, I think I heard Merritt Mathias talking after the game after you had that incredible performance, which you've had every game. But she said just having you behind her. Yeah, she just said having you behind her, and they all agree, like just instills so much more confidence in them, knowing that they can drive forward or push up. So is that something that like has always been your goal, or is like what sort of message do you tell your backline like before a game, just verbally or I guess by action?
Yeah, I think it's just the energy you can give off, like good positive energy, I think goes a long way. And then just constant communication, like even if it's not super helpful, like to them, I think just hearing my voice, knowing that I'm there, I'm behind them, I got their back, I think goes a long way. And yeah, it starts at the training field. If you see a player working hard every day, you're gonna support them, back them up, and want to work hard for them. And I think that we all do that. Like we all bring it every day, working hard, and you see that on the training field. You bring it to the game field, and that's the most important part, is being able to translate it over, not just in practice, but also put on good performances in games. And we've been able to do that as a back line. So we just got to keep that rolling.
Yeah, no kidding. You guys have been crushing it. I feel like you personally, I know a lot of players, especially from a team sport, don't like to talk too much about yourself, but you've had 10 shutouts now. And I feel like every single game I've watched you play, you've just had like these ESPN top 10 saves are just incredible. Like, do you feel a difference within yourself this season, or is this just like any other season for you?
No, I definitely feel like each season I'm able to look back on it, reflect, and in that off season work on things that I want to get better at. And this season especially, I wanted to be the most steady, consistent season overall. Like I've had, put together good performances in the past, but I think the goal for me, especially this season, was putting together, multiple games in a row of good performances and staying and remaining consistent. And that's what, builds trust with your team, and So yeah, I think the biggest thing this season from past seasons is that remaining, just consistent in what I've been told to do here, and then just in moments where I need to make saves, crucial saves, coming up with those saves.
Yeah, I literally had in my notes like consistency. I feel like you have been so incredibly consistent, just like every single game. Like, holy cow, another one, another save. So it's been really, really fun to watch. So props to you on all that. But I want to go back all the way, rewind to little Casey growing up. You grew up in New Jersey, right? What part again?
Yeah, Central Jersey.
Nice. So how old were you when you started playing soccer?
I started playing when I was 5. I probably wasn't so little, as you said, but yeah, I started playing both on the field, in the goal, and then when I was 12, I just was only goalkeeper, and from there, just loved it.
When did that transition happen, or like why? What sort of inspired that to goalkeeper?
I loved playing the field, but I probably wasn't scoring as many goals as the other kids, and I was saving a lot of goals. So there was just like more success in goalkeeper from the jump, and then I like actually like really enjoyed it. Like got started to do extra sessions on my own, and then going out and working with a goalkeeper coach, and then that's when I started to be like, all right, I want to stick with this versus any other sport, and just built on that.
And I feel like it takes like a very special type of person to be a goalkeeper and willing to like sacrifice your body and just dive into traffic. Did you have that ability at that young of an age?
Yeah, you have to like go against all human reactions with things, and, like not flinch and not turn your back, and like just take it to the body or forehead or ear, like whatever it is. And I honestly think I just was born like that. Like I don't know, like I don't.
It's an instinct thing or like a non-instinct thing, I guess, like you said.
So I just always enjoyed being like the position that could use their hands, that it was a little bit different, and then I was pretty good at it, and that's
I'd say so. Yeah.
Gave me the confidence to be like, okay, but yeah, so it has I think it's the best position, but
no bias. Did you play any other sports growing up?
I played a bunch of sports. I played basketball. I played a little bit of softball, but yeah, basketball was my second favorite sport.
Yeah,
that helped as well. So,
did you play basketball through like high school, or how far?
I played until high school, and then I just committed to only soccer.
Yeah, and was your family pretty? I know you have a brother, right? Was your family pretty athletic as well?
Yeah, the fam is athletic. My brother was a Division I wrestler in college, and my parents both played collegiately in schools in New Jersey. My dad was a football player and a wrestler. My mom was a basketball player. So yeah, no one played soccer though. I was the only soccer player.
Really?
Yeah.
So how was that growing up with such a sport and a successfully sports-focused family? Like, was there a lot of pressure, or was it more just like exciting sports happening all the time, competitiveness? What was that like growing up?
Yeah, I think honestly, they didn't know much about soccer, so they weren't so much coaching me from the sideline. I think the pressure was from myself. Like if I lost a game, I'm a super competitive person. So if we lost a game, I was in the worst mood. Like parents don't talk to me, brother don't talk to me, like no one bother me. I needed like a few hours to just like not be by anybody.
Wow.
So I think they learned how to handle me after a loss, and if there was any sort of like misbehaving on my part, it was more so like, we're not taking you to soccer practice type of thing. So they knew how to really, get me. It wasn't like taking my phone away. I was like, no, you're not going to go to soccer.
Oh, wow. So like you were full blown, like fell in love with the sport at a pretty young age then.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's funny that you mentioned that no one else in your family played soccer, because that's how I felt. Like my dad did, but my mom didn't either. So I loved when she came to my game. She's like, has no idea like if I played good or not. She's just like, nice job. I'm like, perfect. You don't know that I just played a terrible game, so you can't critique me. Yeah. So you joined the ranks of the national team pretty early on then too. So you grew up in New Jersey, and then at what point did you start getting attention from youth national teams?
Yeah, I started U14 with the youth national team, U15, and then there was a little bit of period where I wasn't in with the 17s, and then consistently through the 20s, 23s, and now with the first team, where I've been called in a few times. So yeah, just climbing the ladder of it. And yeah, so from a young age, I was traveling with the youth teams, and that was an awesome experience. And that obviously that helped with the college recruiting process, and went to school 20 minutes from home, which was great. And then yeah, ended up in France for my first professional team.
Right. Yeah. So with the national team, you were 13 or 14 years old, putting on the red, white, and blue. Like, were you just like the big stud at school? Like, oh, she's the girl who plays for the national team. Like, what was it like being able to represent your country and then also like try to go to school and be a normal person?
Yeah, a lot of times I was telling my teachers, like, if we had camp, we would miss a week of school or 2 weeks of school, and just telling them that I would be away traveling and playing soccer, and then I don't think they really fully understood like why I had to miss so much school for soccer, but I loved it. Like, I was like, I could miss another 2 weeks of school and go play in California. So yeah, it was a great experience growing up, and I got to learn a lot. And there's a lot of those youth coaches are still big time coaches today. So I always, like, when I went to camp, would write down like notes of what they would tell us, and I still have a bunch of those journals. So it's cool to look back on what like my 14-year-old Casey was saying at camp, and read that now, and it's just funny stuff. Like,
Oh my gosh, I would love to, I would love to see that.
But
So
yeah.
what was from all those international tournaments and trips, any major memories that stick out to you, coolest places that you traveled to at that young of an age? I feel like what an incredible experience. Does anything like really stick out to you from that time, either on the field or off?
Yeah, any of the like international trips were super cool. We went to Spain a few times, Norway, Sweden. So like all of that was awesome. For the under 20 World Cup, actually Coach Sean was my assistant during that time, and we went to Papua New Guinea, and which was like the farthest place I've ever been, and like the hottest place I've ever been, and like there's just it's a country I never thought I would go to. So it was, the travel there, being there, the culture, just the stadium, the weather, like everything was so different. So that I think was one of the, youth trips that stands out to me the most, because it was like nothing I'd ever seen before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And then you really just climbed through the ranks. You've been recently named to the full team as well, right? For the She Believes Cup too in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So what was it like playing for the full team with all those players? Alex Morgan, you got that crazy back line there as well. What was that like?
Yeah, you have to like, especially when it's your first or second camp in, like kind of play it cool. Like, oh, like you weren't like my idols growing up, because now you're there and you're playing with them and you want to compete and show them why you deserve to be there. But definitely like that first camp call in, I was like, wow, these are, the players I've been watching on TV since I was a kid, and now I'm playing with them. So quickly have to like get over that and just play and learn from the experience, grow from the experience. I think that first camp in was definitely a memorable one because of the players there, and finally being able to like be on the same field with them.
Yeah. I would love to have a peek like inside your first training, like who from the team maybe like came up to you or like was the most welcoming? Like, was there anyone you really bonded with during that time? I can't imagine how nervous.
I wonder you say that, because like a memory from my first camp that I like have is Sam Ewis. I was like jumped in a van. They were getting coffee. Like it was like they had already planned to go, but like they saw me walking and they were like, they kind of felt bad and just like invited me. And I was like, sure, why not? So I go, and Sam was like, oh, I'll get you coffee. And she bought me a coffee. And I was like, she's the nicest person ever. So that's actually one of the first experiences or memories I have like from a first call in. It was with Sam. So
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
I know
now
her.
you've been reunited.
Yeah.
It's funny how like such a small little act of kindness can like go so far and be so memorable for you, because I can't imagine how much pressure you're probably feeling and nervousness just being there. So
Yeah.
it's cool that you have like those off-field experiences that help bond you all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, like something that's happened. She probably doesn't even remember it, but yeah, it's one of my first memories. So
Yeah. So we touched on your national team experience a little bit, and then you went on to play at Rutgers and then crushed it there. Two-time Big Ten goalkeeper of the year. Amazing. If I got that right, I think. And then you were drafted, but decided to go to France before playing in the NWSL. Is that right?
yeah,
What went into that decision to go abroad?
it was super spontaneous. Like
Yeah.
I was playing in college. I had another year left, and I got an email from an agent, a French agent, and he said that a goalkeeper from a top team in France got injured. They're in the Champions League, and I just like immediately responded to the email, like, what team? When would I go? Like
Yeah.
basic questions. And within a week and a half, I was on a plane to France and decided I was just gonna go for it.
Wow.
So yeah, I still have one more year left, but I was like ready to go pro, and this opportunity came about, and I was like, oh, I can't pass this up. They're in the Champions League, they're the number 3 or 4 team in France. So I was like, okay, gonna go for it, and did
Wow.
it.
So what was that transition like? I mean, not only did you not have a lot of time to mentally prepare, but all of a sudden you're in a foreign country to
Yeah,
live and play. What was that like?
I didn't think about it like at all. Like,
Blacked it out.
yeah, the fact that there's a huge language barrier, like when I was making this decision, really didn't cross my mind. So when I got there and like couldn't talk to anybody, I also like went to college 20 minutes from home, and I'm a huge homebody. And then I moved to France where there's no Americans on the team, and I was like basically the only English speaking person there. That
Wow.
alone was like a crazy transition, and then obviously going from college soccer to professional soccer is a huge transition. So definitely like the first like 6 months were it was a huge adjustment period. And but like looking back now, I'm like so happy I did it, because I grew up a lot off the field, and then on the
Mm.
field it was a great opportunity to just like get a ton of games in, play in the Champions League, and then just like play in France, which was cool.
Yeah. What was the coolest part of living in France off the field?
I would say so. My teammates lived in the city, and I spent my first 7 weeks there in a hotel, and then
What?
yeah, they were like, okay, we have a place ready, but it's on the countryside of France, not in the city where the team lives. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that would be kind of cool. And so I just like moved directly from the hotel to this place. I didn't really see it or anything. They were like, it's nice. It's bigger than like what the other teammates have. And it's pretty close to the fields. And so I lived in this like studio apartment above a crepe restaurant. And it was
Ooh,
like
it's
in,
dangerous.
yeah, it was in the countryside of it. So there was like a lot of like fields and just old buildings and churches. And so I think that was probably the coolest part. Just like seeing that culture and experiencing that.
Wow, that does sound beautiful, but also terrifying if you're already like can't communicate well with the teammates and
Oh,
that you live so far.
definitely. I'll give you like my first night in France. I parked my car, and it wasn't like it was just street parking, but I couldn't read the signs, and it was my first night there. And the next morning, I come out and my car is gone, and
No.
my phone doesn't work yet. And this is my first night in France, and a lot was going on. And there's like a huge market where I parked my car, and on Sundays in France, they always have markets. So right above it said like Sunday, it had a tow truck, and like it was clear like you couldn't park there on Sundays, but I parked there because I didn't really know. I was just parking my car. So
Oh no.
there's many moments where me not being able to understand street signs, or kind of laws of France backfired, but I quickly learned and got a bunch of tickets along the way, but
Yeah.
worked out in the end, I guess. Helped their
Yeah.
government out a lot with fines and tickets and all.
Oh, no. I feel like that's just one of those stories you can really laugh at now, but in the moment I would just be like crying, like, I
Oh
want to go
yeah,
home, Mom. Come pick me up. I don't have a car.
that happened as well.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So what overall sounds like an incredible experience. And then obviously came back and you were drafted initially, wasn't to the Rain, right? You were Sky Blue at the
Yeah, I
time?
was drafted to Sky Blue, and then I became a Discovery player and went to the Rain.
Gotcha. Play with them. And then you came to us here with the Courage, and you've just
Oh,
done a phenomenal job
yeah.
so far. So I think that's a little bit of the soccer stuff we touched on real quick. I know you have another major life update, kind of recent, not so recent, with your puppy, your dog, which I saw recently is now huge.
Yes.
When did you decide to make that major life decision?
I would say that I wasn't totally on board with the dog. My boyfriend has been wanting a dog for a long time, and no time was going to be a good time, I think, when you're a professional athlete. So we moved down to Raleigh and joined a couple Facebook pages for golden retrievers. Found that there was a litter being born in February. We were like maybe 16th on the list and jumped all the way up to like 3rd. People just backing out, and then that's how we ended up with a golden retriever puppy.
And what's his name again?
Nash.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is he there?
He's in the other room.
He's being quiet. He's being a good boy.
Yeah.
Did he enjoy those treats from the dog day?
Yes. He had way too many, which was not fun for me as his parent, but we're going to put those away for a little bit. Maybe when he has a stronger stomach, we'll bring them back.
Oh, well, I do need to confirm. Your boyfriend mentioned that he tries all the dog treats that you give your dog. Is this true?
Yes, we can confirm that that's true. I did see him try, I think it was a turkey jerky thing, and the smell is awful. I don't know how he does it, but he said it tasted like human food. I don't.
Okay. The bags looked like granola. It looked like, or beef jerky. I'm like, I probably would have accidentally eaten it too, but anyway, I know you have your side gig of coaching coming up soon. So we're going to wrap up with a quick game of a little bit of a rapid fire. I asked some of these questions to KK last week. So, and this is all just like whatever comes first to your head. It's just all about you. So a little bit of off-field stuff. So we're going to start out. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee. What
is your go-to celebratory meal after a big win?
Italian food.
Ooh, like what? Are you a fettuccine person? Red sauce?
Pasta, pizza, something like that.
Oh, sounds so good. All right. Do you have any pregame rituals or like ways you hype yourself up?
Yeah, no, none of them are cool at all. Never mind.
What's a lame one? I'd love to hear a lame one.
This is gonna sound like I shower, I clean my room, I do some yoga, like nothing really cool at all.
That's good. You're zen. I think everyone wants to know your secret of like how you have been so consistent. So there it is, folks. Just be productive. Shower and clean. Guess I need to do that. All right. A couple more. A recent show that you've binged.
I'm watching The Sopranos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Throwback. Best advice you've ever received.
Oh, there's so much. The first thing that comes to mind is just be yourself.
You're good at that. On and off the field. Last two. What's the number one thing you're looking forward to the most in the off season when you actually have some time?
Oh, nice. Family time. That's going to be, you spend 10 months away from them. So just being able to spend a few weeks with them at a time is going to be fun.
Oh, and last one. What is your favorite part of being a Courage player? Your dog. He wants in. Nash, let's see him.
Okay.
Oh, hi, buddy.
There he is.
Oh, he's so cute. He's like, Mom, I'm taking over. It's me now.
What was the last one?
I'm just so distracted by my obsession with your dog. I'm like, what was even the question? Your favorite part of being a Courage player?
My favorite part, the team, like just the relationships I've built with some of the players and the staff, and yeah, they're so fun to be around.
Beautiful. Wonderful answers. Wonderful chatting with you, Casey. I know you got to go coaching and instill some greatness and some youth. So I'm gonna let you go do that. But thank you so much for being on the show, and go keep crushing it.
No, thanks, Megan. Thanks for having me.
Coming up on Courage on the Pitch.
All right, coming up this weekend, we've got NCFC kicking off against New England Revolution on Saturday night at 7 p.m. That'll air on ESPN+. It's also at home, so you can also get your tickets. Join us to say goodbye to Nazmi Al-Badawi. This will be his final match for NCFC at home that Saturday. And then on Sunday, Courage are also at home. So doubleheader of home games this weekend. Very exciting. Courage kick off against Portland. Cannot emphasize this enough. A Courage-Portland matchup. This is historic. They have so much history, and it's just an incredible rivalry. So Portland is in the top spot. They have been chilling there for a while, and Courage obviously is in second place. So just an exciting matchup. Don't miss out on getting your tickets to that game. And this game kicks off at 3 p.m. So it is different, an afternoon game. You can get those tickets on nccourage.com, or if you can't come in person, tune in on Paramount Plus. Again, at 3 o'clock, Courage, Portland. Be there. Don't want to miss it. All right. Well, appreciate you guys tuning into the show. Like we said before, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends on social media, tag the Courage and NCFC, and we will be sure to share it as well. So hope to see you all at the game this weekend, and thanks for tuning in.
Courage on the Pitch is sponsored by Wake Orthopedics Urgent Care. Courage on the Pitch with Megan O'Keefe is part of the Capital Broadcasting Podcast Network, with new shows available every Thursday on WRALSportsFan.com or wherever you get your podcasts.